$500 is not enough to start a farm the way the internet describes a farm. It is enough to start a system. The difference is what determines whether the operation is still running in year 3 or abandoned by month 6. The $500 rule. $500 buys the infrastructure of a self-sufficient system, not scale. A family that spends it correctly builds a feed loop, water system, soil foundation, and first animal operation self-sustaining by month 6. One question before every dollar goes out. Does this reduce ongoing cost or increase it? Every dollar in this video reduces it. Step 1. Land assessment. The first step costs nothing, and most people skip it. Walk the property for 1 full week before purchasing any input, any animal, or any seed. What you are looking for is information the land is already broadcasting. Sun exposure. Track shadow patterns across the property from 7 in the morning to 7 in the evening on 2 different days. The areas that receive 6 or more hours of direct sun are your growing zones. The areas that do not are your water catchment, shade shelter, and perennial zones. This mapping takes 2 hours and determines where every subsequent dollar goes. Drainage. Watch where water moves after rain. Low areas that hold water for more than 24 hours after a rain event are not planting zones. They are pond sites, water catchment zones, or duck habitat. High areas that drain fast are your annual vegetable and grain beds. Weeds. Read them. Dandelion means compacted soil with good mineral content workable. Clover means nitrogen-deficient soil, plant cowpeas first. Thistle means recently disturbed soil, sheet mulch, and wait 1 season before planting. The weed map tells you what the soil needs before you spend anything on amendments. Step 2. Water first. Everything else second. Every system in this video, the feed loop, the garden, the BSFL colony, the animal operation requires water. An animal that runs out of water in August because the family is hauling buckets from the house is an animal that is about to die or be sold. Water independence is not a luxury feature of a self-sufficient system. It is the foundation that every other feature depends on. A used IBC tote, a 1,000-gallon intermediate bulk container, available through industrial surplus dealers, Craigslist, and Facebook Marketplace in every region of the country, costs $50 to $120. 1 inch of rain falling on 1,000 square feet of roof surface produces 600 gallons of water. A standard single-car garage or garden shed roof in most U.S. climates receives 30 to 40 inches of rain annually, 18,000 to 24,000 gallons per year of harvestable water from a single small roof. Position the IBC tote at the base of the barn, shed, or garage downspout. Connect the downspout to the tote inlet with a first flush diverter, a $15 fitting that diverts the first 10 gallons of each rain event, which carry the most roof contamination, away from the storage tank. From that point forward, gravity feeds water to the animal pen, the garden, and the BSFL colony from the tote's bottom valve. No pump, no electricity, no ongoing cost. The water system runs on rain. Step 3. Soil before seeds. The single most expensive mistake a new small farm makes is purchasing topsoil, compost, or raised bed mix before understanding what free soil building looks like. Sheet mulching, also called the lasagna method, converts bare ground, lawn, or compacted soil into plantable growing beds in 60 to 90 days using 2 inputs that are free in every zip code in the United States: cardboard and wood chips. Cardboard is available from any appliance store, moving company, or grocery store in unlimited quantities. Call ahead and ask. Most businesses pay to have cardboard hauled away and will hold it for pickup. Wood chips are available free from municipal tree services, utility line clearing crews, and arborists who need to dispose of chipped material. The website ChipDrop connects homeowners directly with arborists, who will deliver a full truck of wood chips, 8 to 12 cubic yards, at no charge to any address within their service area. Layer cardboard directly on the ground, overlapping edges by 6 inches to prevent grass and weed regrowth. Wet it thoroughly. Cover with 6 to 8 inches of wood chips. Wait 60 days. The cardboard smothers existing vegetation. The wood chips begin decomposing from the bottom up, and the soil biology beneath activates under the moisture and carbon load. At 60 days, pull back the wood chips and plant directly into the partially decomposed layer underneath. No rototilling, no purchased amendment, no cost. Step 4. The first animal. The first animal on a $500 farm is not a chicken. The case against chickens as the first animal is specific and economic. A day-old chick from a hatchery costs $3 to $5. It requires 18 to 22 weeks before the first egg. It eats $36 of feed per bird per year at standard consumption rates. The capital outlay to establish a six-bird laying, flock birds, pen, feeders, waterers, starter feed runs $150 to $200 and produces nothing for 5 months. Coturnix quail costs $3 to $5 per bird, the same as a chick. It begins laying at 6 to 8 weeks. Its annual feed cost is $6 for 6 birds. A 6-bird quail flock in a 2 by 3 foot covered pen begins producing eggs in less than 2 months from purchase and generates $500 to $600 in annual egg sales at farmers market prices. The pen costs $45 to $55 in materials. The total establishment cost for 6 laying quail is under $80 all in. The quail is the right first animal because it produces income before the budget is exhausted. Its feed cost is low enough to be covered by the BSFL colony within 60 days of colony establishment, and its pen requires no land. It sits on any flat surface in any covered space. It buys time for the rest of the system to be built without the financial pressure of a non-producing flock consuming purchased feed. Step 5. The first crop stack. The first crop planting on a $500 farm is not a full garden. It is a 3-crop stack chosen on one criterion: which combination of crops feeds the family, feeds the animals, fixes fertility for the following season, and stores through winter from the smallest possible planting area with the lowest possible seed cost without purchased fertilizer. That combination is cowpeas, sunflowers, and winter squash. Planted together in the same bed or field area, these 3 crops occupy the same space, mature at different times, and leave the soil measurably more fertile than they found it. Cowpeas go in first after last frost direct sow, no bed preparation beyond the sheet mulch laid in step 3. They fix 80 to 120 pounds of atmospheric nitrogen per acre into the soil through the growing season, feeding the sunflowers and squash planted alongside them without any purchased fertilizer. Cowpea seed costs $8 for 5 pounds, enough to plant a quarter acre. Sunflowers go in 2 weeks after the cowpeas, 18 inches apart in rows. They mature in late summer, are harvested in September, and the seed stores through winter as high-fat, high-protein supplement for the quail flock and any additional animals added in year 2. $6 buys enough black oil sunflower seed for a meaningful planting. Winter squash, Hubbard, Jarrahdale, or blue Hokkaido goes in alongside the cowpeas. It sprawls between the rows, shades the soil, and produces 30 to 50 pounds of storable feed per plant that keeps without refrigeration from October through March. $12 covers 3 open-pollinated varieties whose seed saves for the following year. Total seed cost for the first crop stack, $26. Step 6. The feed loop. The feed loop is the mechanism that separates a self-sufficient system from a farm that is simply buying inputs more cheaply. A feed loop converts the farm's own waste streams into feed, which produces animals, which produce waste, which feeds the loop. Once it is closed, the purchased feed line on the budget approaches zero. 3 components close the loop on a $500 farm. The BSFL colony started in month 1 with a $28 starter culture and kitchen scraps is producing live larvae for the quail within 30 to 45 days. By month 3, it is replacing 30 to 50% of the quail's protein ration. The fodder system, $15 of whole barley run through 10 drainage trays on a 7-day rotation, multiplies that grain 6-fold and provides the carbohydrate and green matter fraction of the ration. The compost bin, built from 4 free pallets, processes the BSFL frass, spent fermented grain, and quail manure into the finished amendment that feeds the cowpea, sunflower, and squash beds without purchased fertilizer. Input into the loop after month 3. Kitchen scraps, rainwater from the IBC tote, and sunlight. Output: eggs, meat, garden fertility, and stored food. The ongoing purchased input the loop does not eliminate is oyster shell for laying quail, $8 per year. That is the complete ongoing cost of the system after month 3. Step 7. The expense breakdown. C. Every dollar of the $500 budget is accounted for here. Nothing is rounded. Nothing is omitted. Used IBC tote for water catchment, sourced from industrial surplus or Facebook Marketplace, $80. This is the single largest purchase in the budget and the most important. Do not substitute a smaller container, The 1,000-gallon capacity covers dry periods that a 200-gallon barrel cannot bridge. 6. Coturnix quail from a local breeder or online hatchery, plus starter feed for the first 30 days, $45. Quail pen materials, hardware cloth, 2x4 lumber, staple gun, latch, $55. Whole barley, 50 pounds, from a local feed co-op, $15. Fodder trays, $10 store dish pans with drainage holes drilled, $12. Cowpea seed, 5 pounds, $8. Black oil sunflower seed, 1 pound, $6. Winter squash seed, 3 open-pollinated varieties, $12. BSFL starter culture, online, $28. 3 bin system materials, 4 free pallets for bin 3, 1 18-gallon storage bin for bin 1, 1 5-gallon food-grade bucket for bin 2, window screen, hardware cloth, screws, $45. 10 balking, 14 comfrey root crowns from an online herb supplier, $30. Comfrey planted along the animal pen perimeter is producing harvestable leaf by midsummer and feeding the quail, the compost bin, and the soil simultaneously from year 1 forward. Basic hand tools, trowel, pitchfork, wire cutters, drill if not already owned, $60. Contingency for regional price variation, shipping on online purchases, and any item that runs over estimate, $109. Total, $500 exactly, the 1-2. Month timeline. Month 1. IBC tote installed on the downspout. Sheet mulch beds laid with cardboard and wood chips. BSFL colony started with kitchen scraps and starter culture. Nothing is planted yet. Nothing lives on the property yet that requires daily care. The foundation is being built before the structure goes up. Month 2. Quail pen built and birds purchased. Fodder system started 10 trays on a rotating 7-day cycle. BSFL colony checked for larval activity by week 4 in temperatures above 60 degrees. Larvae should be visible in the feedstock. Comfrey root crowns planted along the pen perimeter. Month 3. First quail eggs arrive. Cowpeas, sunflowers, and winter squash direct sown into the sheet mulched beds. Compost bin assembled from pallets and activated with BSFL frass, quail manure, and carbon material. Feed loop beginning to close larvae from bin 1, supplementing the quail ration. Months 4 through 6. Full feed loop operational. Cowpea plants producing vine forage for the quail pen. Compost bin producing finished material for bed amendment. Purchased feed dropping month over month as the BSFL colony and fodder system scale. Months 7 through 9. Sunflower and squash harvest. Seed saving from all 3 crops for the following season. At this point, the seed budget for year 2 is 0. Every crop replants from saved seed. Months 10 through 12. Winter storage operational. Squash in the root cellar or cool garage. Sunflower seeds stored in sealed containers. Dried BSFL pre-poupée, stored as winter protein supplement. The system is self-sustaining. The purchased feed bill for the quail flock is under $10 per month. The infrastructure for year 2, adding a Muscovy pair, expanding the cowpea planting, adding a second IBC tote costs nothing beyond the animal purchase because the feed loop is already running. Every failed $500 farm fails the same way. The animal arrives before the feed system exists. It happens because animals feel like progress. A pen of chickens or a pair of ducks looks like a farm. A pile of cardboard and a bucket of grain soaking in water does not look like a farm. So the animal gets purchased first, the feed loop is not ready, purchased feed fills the gap, and the budget collapses in month 2 before the system that was supposed to eliminate the feed cost has been built. The sequence in this video is not arbitrary. Water, then soil, then feed loop, then animal in that order, without exception. The animal is the last thing that arrives. By the time it does, everything it needs to survive without purchased input is already in place.